we decide to do whatever we want? Do we give? Or do we spend on ourselves? So maybe you're an honest person, and maybe you try to run an honest business, and you try to do everything in an honest way, but everyone else is doing dishonest stuff. And you're thinking, why do I keep doing this? They're making more money than I am. Why do I keep living this way? For a God that I don't even feel like is around, for a God I don't feel like even answers my prayers, why do I keep doing this? Or maybe you're a student, and maybe you think, I'm just not going to cheat. No matter what, I'm not going to cheat on the test. But all my friends are cheating, and they're getting away with cheating. And I get worse grades because I'm not cheating like they are. Why do I keep doing it? Because my parents told me to believe this? Because I go to a church that tells me I need to believe this, so I try to live a life that way? It's not doing me any good. Or maybe you're in college, and maybe you think, I don't want to live that lifestyle, I don't want to drink, I don't want to go to parties, I don't want to do all that stuff, but all my friends are doing it, and they look like they're having fun, and now I'm stuck by myself not doing anything. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep living a life that way when I feel like I'm getting no advantage out of this? Maybe you're thinking, God's not doing anything for me, and I'm not getting any influence in my life. See, in every generation, there are Christians that need to decide whether they continue to believe in a God of promises, even when it seems like God is doing nothing. Every generation, there are people that need to decide, am I going to believe this even when I feel like He's not even there? Even when I feel like His promises aren't even being kept? Because God promises that no matter what, He will never leave you and never forsake you. But what happens when you don't feel like that's happening? What happens when you feel like there isn't even a God? What happens when you feel like, I don't even know if I believe this anymore? See, if that's you, or if that has been you, there's nothing wrong with you. That's the Christian experience. We all go through times of doubt. And this is what Zechariah and Elizabeth had to deal with. 700 years of silence they had to deal with. See, the challenge for us is, will you stay or will you go? Because Christmas is a reminder that our faith in God is not in vain. That our beliefs are not in vain. The song we sang for the offering, O Holy Night, one of the verses says this: long lay the world in sin and error pining, which basically means longing, waiting, praying. See, Christmas is a reminder that our longing, that our praying, that our wishing, that our waiting is not in vain. Your faith in God is not misplaced. I'm going to close with a story. One year I went to Impact, and for those of you who don't know what Impact is, a bunch of guys have gone before. It's a weekend retreat at Ocean City. You go into the convention center, they give you a bunch of, they have speakers, they have worship people, it's pretty cool. I went when I was in high school, and then I got older and I started helping out with the youth group at Crossroads, so I started going there. Now, I wasn't the pastor there, I wasn't a leader, I wasn't preaching, I was just there as a sponsor. My brother and Pastor AJ were the leaders then. And we all go to Impact, and I remember I go, and I was just kind of in that time where just my faith was just there, because it was there. Like, it was just stale. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but just like, I was believing what I was believing just because I had to, but I was kind of getting bored with it. I was kind of getting tired of it. And then we go to Impact, and speaker after speaker at one point says that they had this trouble, and all of a sudden God spoke to them, and then they knew what to do. And I was thinking, I've never heard God speak to me. All these speakers have heard God speak. I've never heard that. I don't know what he's talking about. And then I started thinking, why am I doing this? I've been a Christian my whole life. Why do I keep doing this? Because my parents taught me this? If my parents were Muslim, what would I be? Probably Muslim. My parents were Catholic, what would I be? Catholic. If my parents were atheist, I'd probably be atheist. So I was like, why am I living my entire life for a belief because my parents decided it a while ago? And I don't feel like God's ever spoken to me. I don't feel like God's ever talked to me. Speaker after speaker goes by, they all say the same thing. The last night, we had one last night, and then we had a morning session, and then we were leaving. The last night we were there, I'm sitting there, and the speaker that's talking is talking about forgiveness and talking about when God seems silent, kind of a series like a sermon like today. And I remember kind of feeling convicted and feeling like I should pray this out or talk or ask God where He is and all that stuff. And then He gave an altar call, and I remember my heart was racing. I don't know if you guys ever had that where you're just like, I need to go up there, I need to go pray it out or whatever. And He gave the altar call, and I just stood there. And then He closed the altar call, and I never went up. And then I remember just being ticked off at myself. Like, why wouldn't I go up there? I know I'm supposed to go up there. Why did I go up there? And then my anger to myself became angry to God because, God, why didn't you make me go up there? Where have you been? I haven't heard from you. What have you been doing? And then I sat there in anger while everyone else is worshiping, all the high schoolers, all that stuff. I sat there, my arms crossed, saying, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Why am I here? What am I doing this for? I just remember just being so angry and just so frustrated with what I believed. And I remember, like, I had so many friends at home that were doing fun stuff. They were doing stuff that I wanted to do, but I wasn't doing it because I was a Christian and I was following a God that I never felt like I even felt. I remember thinking, why don't I just do what they're doing? They're having fun. And I'm not doing that. I remember sitting there angry, pouting, and all of a sudden I just started to think, okay, let me just be quiet and just pray and just sit here in silence. And all of a sudden a verse popped into my head. Psalms 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. For me, it just popped in my head. I don't know if it was just myself tricking myself to figure that out, or if it was, I don't know what it was, but it's Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. I just kept thinking, be still, know that I am God. Be still, know that I am God. I remember just feeling forgiveness. I remember feeling peace and just saying, it's okay. It's okay. I went that night, we finished the night, and then next morning I came in, and at that point I'm like starting to be skeptical again. Like, well, what was that? That was just me tricking myself. That's what that was. You can make yourself think whatever. I was probably just popped in my head, whatever. I walk in, and before we walk in, there's a bunch of leaders there saying, hey, everyone, be quiet. We're going to go in silently today. There's thousands of kids who are saying, everyone be quiet. We're going to go in silently. I walk in, and there's one verse on the screen. Be still and know that I am God. I started laughing. Okay, I got it. It's like, maybe you guys are at this point. Maybe you guys have been at this point where you started thinking, why do I do this? Why do I follow a promise that I feel is not even there? Why do I keep doing this? What I want to tell you today is that God is the God who follows his promises, even when it seems like his promises are impossible to keep. So no matter what struggles you have, no matter what doubts you have, and doubts are bad. Doubts are something that you say, I'm a Christian, I shouldn't doubt. Because when you doubt, then you ask questions. Questions will lead you to answers. God's not a God saying, don't ask questions, I don't want you. He's saying, this is the truth, so come find out. Find out for yourself. I know your parents told you, I know your church is telling you, you find out. When you make it an authentic faith, when you decide that God is the God that I'm following because it's my faith, my decision, not my church's decision, not my parents' decision, that's when your faith really starts to grow. God is the God that keeps his promises, even when his promises seem impossible to keep. And Christmas is where we remember this. Christmas is God answering his promise. Christmas is the time we remember that he does keep his promises. Let's pray. Dear God, I thank you for this day. Thank you for